Hey everybody, Dan Lippert here, and welcome back to my channel where I teach you everything you need to know about cryptocurrency. And today I'm going to talk about a website called Gitcoin. What is Gitcoin? Gitcoin is a website that allows people to support open source development, open source projects, especially in the realm of cryptocurrency. And basically it ties GitHub issues to crypto coin rewards. So if you're a blockchain developer or you want to become a blockchain developer, and if you've checked out my previous videos, this is an absolutely amazing site to grow your blockchain development credentials. Not only do you get to work on open source projects and build your portfolio, build your resume, add to your cryptocurrency experience, but you get paid to do it, which is quite a rarity in open source as it is. And with the recent issues this past week with EventStream, a JavaScript library that was basically taken over and an exploit was added and it targeted cryptocurrency wallets. But the reason it was taken over was the original open source developer just didn't have the time and the resources to work on the project anymore. So that's where Gitcoin comes in. Gitcoin incentivizes people to work on open source projects. And it's an absolute must-have in the ecosystem. And in some ways, I think it might be one of the killer apps for cryptocurrency. So let's check it out. All right, everyone, let's check out Gitcoin, gitcoin.co. And before I get started, I just want to say, I've used Gitcoin, okay? I worked on an issue, I submitted my work, I got paid, it was an awesome experience, and I gained so much more than I thought I would just by working on this project. Not just monetarily, but I'll get to that in a bit. So let's check out the Gitcoin website, and I'm going to walk through how it works, how you can get paid in crypto, and this is actually an awesome way to earn crypto without spending money, without going through a fiat on-ramp, and like I said before, to get experience working with crypto from a developer standpoint. So, here's a website, gitcoin.co, and we check it out. Gitcoin is the easiest way to leverage the open source community to incentivize or monetize work. I agree. It's a really awesome. It's just a really awesome thing to have in the ecosystem. As someone who's worked with open source and worked on open source projects for many years, something like this is just so sweet. So, also, apparently they work with designers. So that's very cool. So you don't have to just be a developer. And let me say, the blockchain, cryptocurrency space is in a need for designers, UX professionals, that type of thing, to say the least. All right, so I'm going to log in here. All right, I'm logged in. And let's check out what issues are out there. And by the way, one thing that's really cool about Gitcoin is you set up a profile with like what type of projects, what technologies you're interested in working on and with. And they email you every time there's new projects. They email you like a digest. I love getting that in my mailbox and checking it out. Because some of these projects, and we'll see this right here, you can make some serious dough. So check this out. We got a smart contract review for 1 Ether. It's 116 bucks right now. We've got a project for $500, right? In DAI. Stablecoin, which is a cool stablecoin, I think. And you guys know that if you see my other videos. So, and also, if you look here, hiring, it shows you what organizations are hiring. So probably, if you're interested in working at one of these organizations, working on their issues, it's a good way to get their attention, maybe stand out from the rest of the pack when it comes to getting your application and your resume looked at. So we got Status here, Aragon, a lot of top tier, really cool projects. So, as we scroll through here, and let's just take a look at this issue for Gitcoin. This is a Gitcoin issue itself for 40 bucks. I love the, I believe this is like a astronaut's helmet or something like that, which I think is cool. If that's not what it is, someone let me know. But so they got an issue here: increased test coverage by 5%. So if you're a Python developer, you got experience with Django and PyTest, this might be a really good one to take a look at. Now, people have already applied. Anyway, we'll get to that. Let's check out the issue. Implement factories for easy test generation. So a lot of time in these issues, they'll have like some preferred things, like patterns they'd like you to follow, that type of thing. Please break up your test coverage pull request by app file. And so, oh, and they have like a really straightforward way they'd like to have these tests implemented. And then the bounty is paid out to anyone who meaningfully increases the code coverage of the repository by 5%. And they're going to measure that by the code cov, I guess, script or application. You must put some thought into the success and failure criteria. Probably good when you're writing tests. You guys know how much I love tests. And please coordinate with the other bounty hunters who are working on this bounty so you don't overlap work. So that's kind of interesting. It seems like, you know, up to 20 people could apply for this, and then they'd have 100% test coverage, right? Yeah, so very cool. And then you can click View on GitHub when you want to see the issue in more detail. And this is really great because you can see, you know, where did this problem come from, who's working on this problem, who's going to review your work, all that kind of stuff. And here's some, what is this? Oh, okay, so when you apply, you actually have to, so here, I'll click Start Work. You have to submit a plan. And so you have to kind of describe what it is you're going to do, how you're going to approach the problem. And it's basically, it's an application. You're applying to be considered to do this. Once they approve your application, then you can actually start the work and go ahead and do it. So, you know, you would type out here, you know, how you're going to approach this. Oh, I'm going to use PyTest, and this is the part of the code that I'm going to attack, and that kind of stuff. So we can see Slayer KTC, when you make your application, it becomes public on GitHub. And so they write, currently have a working test environment built and synced with the testnet data. Here's the current coverage list. I'll focus on files with large missing statements and zero coverage. I'll use the previous tests as templates. This is a really great application, I think. And then they pasted a bunch of stuff on the, I guess, the current CodeCov report. And then down here we can see Suki CZ applied to start work. Yep. Good point here. I think unit tests are a good way to start knowing the project. That's absolutely true, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute here. And then Jay McGrath says, love to increase my familiarity with PyTest. I've been doing TDD, test-driven development, and Go and Ruby at work. My Python test foo has fallen behind. All right, great. So they got these applications in already. Like I said, they could probably, well, it seems like they already had maybe 27% coverage, so they could get about 15 more people, 14, 15 more people in to do this. It is a cooperative project type. So some of these you'll see it's just one worker is accepted and multiple people might apply. A contest is multiple people might apply and get accepted, but the best one gets paid. And then cooperative is many people apply, many people get paid. So this is a cooperative project. Also, sometimes it'll have the time commitment. This one doesn't have it. But one thing you got to think about there is, like, this is a new project and this was my experience. Actually, let's just go ahead and get into my experience with it. Let's see if I can. Is there a way I can see my old? Let's view my profile. See if we can see the issue that I worked on here. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So I contributed to Embark framework. If I click on that, what happens? Oh God. Wait, I should go back because I think I saw it there. Okay, so this was the project I worked on. It was for Embark framework. Embark is, well, you guys know, I'm doing a tutorial series on Embark. Embark is just an awesome, it's very similar to Truffle. It's an awesome dApp framework. I like it a lot. I like it better than Truffle. That's just my personal preference. So the issue here was in the configurations, I actually ran into this because I'm using an older version of Embark on one of my projects and I haven't upgraded yet. And the configuration values and all the configuration files are specified in Way. And I had a problem where I was trying to deploy a contract to the mainnet, and the mainnet was a little bit congested with transactions, the Ethereum mainnet, as it sometimes is. And oh, excuse me. And when I went to submit the transaction to issue the contract, it just sat there and it never got mined. And the reason for that was I didn't set the gas price high enough. So I went into the configuration file to go set the gas price and I put in 5. Well, guess what happened? The configuration file, all the configurations are in Way, right? So no one was going to pick up a transaction with a gas price of 5 Way. Usually you denominate gas prices in Gwei, which is, I don't even remember what the exact, what is it, a billion Way? It's a lot of Way. So I had to go put in a bunch of zeros, right? And fix that. So now you can write 5 Gwei instead of having to write 5 bajillion Way. So anyway, that was my issue. And I got paid 60 DAI for it, which was very cool. And, you know, basically what happened was someone else applied for it. They got accepted, but they didn't actually do the work, which happens. So don't give up on older issues that you see on Gitcoin if you're really interested in working on them. You know, you could still wait to see if they don't come through because it is kind of time boxed. So I applied, I got accepted, I got warned for abandonment of bounty a couple times. Basically what happened was I just found more stuff to fix and there were more improvements to be made that were maybe like slightly beyond the scope, the original scope, which is totally fine, right? This is open source. I wasn't like a contractor with like a contract signed and I was like, this is how many hours I'm going to spend and you have to pay me hourly and all that stuff. It's open source, right? So I was really happy to do it for Embark. So I just communicated with the project, and basically what happens is on GitHub, there's a bot that will come in and it will ask you if you're still working on the project. And all you have to do is say, yeah, I'm still working. So I went, you know, we could just walk through this real quick. Here's my application. I'll be applying the utility function getWay from string that converts various Ether values in any standard denomination into Way during the loading of configuration files for contracts, project, blockchain, etc. So basically, I just wrote that I like understood the problem. That's all. I think that's pretty simple. And then even before I started working on it, there was a lot of conversation on GitHub about, you know, what to do, how to do it. Here's some of the Embark guys. Pascal Precht. Sorry, Pascal, if I mispronounce your name, who's was recently hired onto Embark as, I think, kind of a developer relations type person, or Status rather. There's a Yuri who's, I think, the creator of Embark, who works at Status as well now. And some other folks. So you wrote a really great explanation of what needs to be done, which I kind of followed. And then I went ahead and, you know, got awarded it after the other guy didn't respond in time. And so here's a message from the Gitcoin bot saying, are you still working on this issue? Please submit a work in progress PR or comment back. So all I had to do was comment. Sorry for the delay. We got hit by a typhoon here in Japan. Anyway, so, you know, I kept working on it. There were some rebases that had to be done because they were releasing new versions of Embark. So I just had to rebase a couple times, and it was added to Embark, which was really awesome 14 days ago. So, and here you can see Gitcoin bot saying, I got my DAI. I got my stable coins. So, very cool, very easy process. And, real quick, I just want to talk, like, one thing that I thought was really cool about doing this project was I got to know Embark, which is a piece of software that I use all the time. I got to know it like inside and out, right? Although it took some time, because when you get to know any code base, it takes you a couple hours, if not a couple days, to really understand, the structure of the project, where all the moving pieces are, how everything fits together. And so I got that understanding from working on this. And to have that understanding of a tool that you use all the time is beyond helpful, right? Especially when you run into bugs, or the documentation doesn't really cover something that you're trying to do. You can go and look at the source code, and you know exactly where to go to find the relevant piece, and you can just read the code and see what exactly is happening. And then I got to know the folks who work on Embark, hang out in their Gitter, chatted with them about my progress, about issues I was having, all kinds of stuff. And so I got to know them, and that's really cool. And that's something that, for me was kind of an unexpected benefit, was I got to know the people behind one of the projects that I love. So that's an amazing feeling, right? So anyway, that's kind of my experience with Gitcoin. Like I said, I really highly recommend it, no matter who you are. If you're a developer, and especially if you want to get into blockchain development, but you don't know how to start, you've never worked in blockchain development before, everyone says, okay, go work on open source stuff, right? And that's something I've said. If you watch my previous video on how to become a blockchain developer, one of the things I recommend is to work on open source blockchain projects, to build your resume and build that experience. But a lot of people say open source software, in many ways, you have to be in a good place in your life to have the time, to have the mental energy, to have the resources, to have the money, to work on something, to do programming without getting paid, right? I understand that. I mean, that's the reality of the situation. You have to have some sort of money for food and place to live and all that stuff to work on open source. So it's not as easy as it sounds sometimes, just to tell people, go work for free to build your experience, right? Well, here's Gitcoin. You don't work for free. You actually get paid, and you get paid in crypto. So how amazing is that, right? So I can't recommend Gitcoin enough, especially if you want to become a blockchain developer. And let me know in the comments of this video, have you ever used Gitcoin? Are you going to use Gitcoin? Are you going to check it out? I hope you will. And I think that's about it for this video. So I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. If you found this video useful, please give me a like and a subscribe. That will help other people like you to be able to find this video and get the information they need. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.